All right. Yeah.
We're in the intro.
Take two.
I was going to have a little backstage.
Sorry.
All right. Well, welcome to We're Here to Help, America's #1 podcast. Despite what you read or what you hear, it is the #1 podcast.
Also,
in America.
despite the numbers.
Despite the numbers, there's a lot going against what I'm saying.
But there's a lot going
true.
with what you're saying.
That's why I love you, buddy. That's why you're my man. We have a great episode today. We definitely, it's a bit of a racy episode.
Agreed.
So it's after Thanksgiving, so we're going to shock you back into reality with our first call. We actually have a guest for our first call who is Laura Clery, who is hilarious. We're very thankful to have her on the show. You can follow her on Instagram or all social media at Laura, Clery. She's on tour. But she makes great content. And
She's so funny.
She was great on the show. And so, yeah, the first call is wild.
And the second call is wild, too. The second call is about what happens when your kid at school does something to reveal a little private stuff.
When worlds collide.
So we got a great show.
The
we
title.
Really hope,
we got the episode title. No, I'm just
let's let Kevin pick. So.
Yeah, I think Kevin should do that.
Yeah. And so we got a great show. We're very excited about it. We want to thank Laura for joining us. And without further ado,
nice.
Enjoy the show.
Yes, he stuck the landing.
Hey.
Hi. Welcome to We're Here to Help, America's #1 podcast. You know the format. You're on with Jake. You're on with Gareth. And might I say, we have a very special guest. In my opinion, arguably the funniest person on Instagram, Laura Clery, is joining us.
Thank
so
you.
I hope you're nervous and anxious and all that, but we'll get into that. Who the hell are you?
Before we start, Gareth, Laura,
Yeah.
do you have an Australian accent by chance?
No, I don't. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I have.
Right.
Wait, was that a Chicago one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just realized all your accents are Australian.
What do you mean? This is
Can
like
I-
a
can I-
full Chicago accent.
Swedish.
Wait, but can you do a Swedish accent though? That's one I don't know.
Man, I'm in Australia. It's early. I would say something along the lines of more.
That's your German. That's your German.
No,
Do your
the German is far more filled with the V's. And the W's is Volkswagen.
Ich spreche etwas Deutsch.
Laura, you have crossed the line.
Can we get to the caller, please?
You know how
Jake,
you
you
say I
started
love
this.
you in German?
How?
Ich liebe dich.
Yep. See,
Isn't
that
that
is.
so romantic?
I can only imagine being in bed post-coitus and having someone shout that in my face.
Ich
I also
liebe
like
dich.
how close you got to your camera there, Laura.
You do?
Yeah, so aggressive.
So caller, we have not forgotten about you. What is your name? Pseudonym acceptable. Age, approximation, and where are you calling from?
Yeah, so my name is Marissa. I am 30 years old, and I'm from Savannah, Georgia.
What's going on? What can we help you with today?
So I am in a predicament here. A little backstory. I was raised really religious in a religious environment. So anything that has to do with sex is considered a sin. And especially when it comes to self-pleasure or masturbation, like you're going to go to hell for that.
Hell's going to be pretty full, I'll be
so-
honest. But keep going.
Exactly. Yeah. So I have a lot of religious trauma surrounding that. So I recently got married and my wife was like, hey, you should, take some time to yourself, learn your own body. You may enjoy fan fiction or erotica or something like that. You just feel free, So she was out of the house one day. I decided to give it a shot. I just typed in the word erotica and I was scrolling through the little tags that they have, and the least explicit one that caught my attention was female audio. So as I started listening to it, I almost immediately recognized the voice that was moaning and groaning on the other end.
Whoa,
And-
this is a wild setup, Marissa.
The setup is really, I think you're edging us. I'm excited
Yeah.
for where
It
this
was.
goes.
So you're listening to female audio that you found on an erotica site and you recognize the breathing.
She was speaking in a low, like, whisper, explaining what she was doing to herself. Because I know this person well, and because they kind of whisper talk anyways, I quickly put it together that it was my coworker that I've actually had beef with in the past. And I can't prove it. I mean, I don't know 100%, but it sounded just like her. So I quickly got out of there. The next day I went to work, told my other coworker who I'm close with about it. And she was like, I have got to hear it now. So I pulled it up for her, played it. And she was like, oh yeah, 100%. That's definitely her.
Wait, hold on. She whisper talks at work too?
Yeah. She's just one of those people that whisper talks, you know, I don't really know how to explain it.
She's kind of got a sultry, yeah. Maybe she like slams them, like hits her finger in the microwave and is like, oh, like, yeah, I could.
Gareth.
What, Jake? I'm painting. No, hold on, Jake. I'm painting a word picture. Allow me the freedom to do that, please. Thank you.
My question is, what am I supposed to do about it? How am I supposed to be in the same room as her? How am I supposed to make eye contact? Do I like confront her about it and make sure that, you know, what if it's not her, or do I just let it go?
And when you said you had beef with this woman, what happened?
Well, she's not my manager, but she's acted like she is in the past.
Okay.
So we just haven't got along.
What would you say, Laura? Because Jake and I are guys.
Yeah. It depends. Like, how's the movie of your life right now? Is the plot dull? Do you want to spice it up? That's kind of how I like to look at my life sometimes as a movie.
Right.
Do I like this movie? Can I, rewrite this next scene? What do you want out of your life? Do you want to be petty and have a confrontation? Because you could go that route.
That's interesting.
You could confront her and that would be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. So, but I think, Laura, I think you're dead right. And I think we need a little bit more, Marissa, because right now we have a setup. I think we need to know a little bit more. What are you thinking of doing with this? And then I think we could help you decide and pitch ideas of what you can do. Because there's an easy solution, and that is move on.
Yeah, the high road would be to do nothing, to live and let live. So she's got a little side hustle, right? A little to pay the, little extra money. That's fine.
Agreed.
Yeah. Or you can be petty and you can embarrass her, like whatever. So yeah, what do you think?
Where are you at here?
Well, this person has been very petty towards me, especially in the past. So I at least want to have something up my sleeve in case that happens again.
I mean, look, I got a bad pitch. I'm going to start us off. I'm not into this. I'm not excited about it. But the premise of the goddamn show is we're with you, Marissa, right? This woman's petty. Laura said, do you want to rewrite the story of your life a little bit? You want it to be exciting, and you seem to like that. What I would do is, if I were you in this situation, is I'd maybe play the audio on speaker. And just pretend you're having Bluetooth issues. You're at your desk near her, and all of a sudden you hear the moaning, the breaths. You go like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And then shut it off and see how she reacts, so that there's a good 6 seconds between you. Because you're saying you want to keep something up your sleeve, but you got to let her know that you got something up your sleeve, or we got nothing there. Am I out of line here, Laura? Where are you at?
I think that's a bold move. I think that's a really bold move, and I like it. I would also say, you could be more subtle if you wanted, and you can send her the email with the link to the audio and say, I know what you've been up to. And then, or you know,
scary,
like,
scary.
Is there something that she's done at work that you wish she would stop doing? Like, is there a specific thing of something she does that annoys you or whatever? Could you just ask her to stop doing that thing, or ask her to do whatever you wish she would do, and then just link the audio to it, and don't ever mention the audio. Just be like, thank you. And then link the audio so she can just see, oh, she's got this evidence. I'm going to do whatever she says. And then she'll just be your bitch, basically.
Jesus Christ. I got to say, I think we're going in the wrong direction on this call.
Well,
I know. Go ahead, Garth.
Well, Marissa,
Play it out.
I know, but I thought mine was bad too, Laura. I thought mine was bad too.
We are much like a religious raised person, we are exploring our space
we're
to
trying to
find
figure
what
it
works
out.
and what doesn't work. There are no wrong answers here.
All right, you're not wrong. You're not
Well,
wrong.
murder would be wrong. But
Murder.
does she boss other people around at work, Marissa?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what I would make.
Okay, so she's a
And
tough person.
It's kind of I think you don't want to associate that you're the one who has this information. So maybe what you do is just set up a fake email and have it be whatever.
What?
You got something, Laura?
No, someone did that to me once, but sorry. Go.
Well,
Wait,
no,
what did they do to you?
It just brought me way back.
Go. What happened?
So basically, I get this email. It was an email address. I had no idea who it was. And it was CC'd in it was my mom, my ex-boyfriend, my friends, like so many people. And in it, the email said, "This is what Laura's up to in Hollywood." Then there was a link. It was like right after I moved here. There was a link to a porn actress giving a blowjob to this guy. She looked exactly like me, okay? It was not me. She was shorter and tanner, but she looked so much like me. And they said, "This is what Laura's up to in Hollywood," and fucking CC'd. I knew my mom, my ex-boyfriend, and all my friends. Now, this woman looks so much like me that my mom called me in tears after, and she goes, "Laura," she's like, "Oh, I thought it was you." She's like, "I had to slow-mo it to see if she had the scar on the side of her face," because I was like bit by a dog when I was a kid, so I have a scar on the side of my face. My fucking mom's watching this blowjob going, "Is this my daughter?" And like, that's how much she looks like me. My ex-boyfriend, who I had plenty of sex with, who's seen me naked, thought it was me. So like, she looked very similar. Anyway, was not me, but that story brought me back, and I never found out who saw that video and who sent it out to like everyone.
There's a good lesson in there, aside from always have a scar, which is that we don't want to overdo it where this person has a level of lingering fear or like this blows up into something else.
Because all she's done is do a little audio fun.
Yeah, by the way, that's the other thing. It's like
she hasn't even done anything. Like if this Marissa, if this was a criminal act that we had her on, it would be something.
Yeah, if they were goats and it was a whole, I mean,
agreed. You know, here's where I'm kind of thinking. I'm going to take us in a slightly different direction. We are on your team, but as good friends at the bar, which is what this is, I gotta push you away from blackmail, doing the weird Laura email. I think that's bad. I'm pushing you away from my idea of the loud Bluetooth speaker bullshit. Here's what I say you do. You got a weird dynamic with this woman. You don't like her. She doesn't like you. You got a little bit of fucking dirt on her. So you walk right up to her, and I think you go, "Hey, interesting. I was looking around at an erotica site, and I heard your thing. Very funny. Really interesting." And then she goes, "That wasn't me." And you can go, "Sure. Anyway, really interesting." Now you're revealing yourself too, Marissa. Little Miss Religious Girl's out there masturbating by herself as well. But you just go head on, collision. This is what's happening. We both know. She hasn't done anything wrong, but you don't want your coworkers to know. What do you guys think?
You know, that I like that approach, Jake, because that's what that is rigorous honesty.
Yes.
You're going up and you're saying, and you don't have to say your background, though you could be vulnerable with her and say, you know, I'm trying to explore this thing. I grew up a little sexually repressed and I'm trying to learn my body. And so I came across your audio and I just want to say thank you.
Ooh.
What you're doing.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a turn.
That might be the way to go.
But also you said rigorous honesty, but then you lied.
Well,
because you go, none of this was about thanking this woman. Marissa didn't go, "I was thinking of masturbating, but I wasn't sure. Then I heard these weird little whisper squeaks and holy mother." No, we're teasing her.
Okay.
But I like the rigorous honesty. Even in that has a lie. Amazing.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm with you.
I like it. I think
ahead,
kill her
Gareth.
with kindness. You frame this maybe as more of a compliment. Just say a little bit of the backstory that Laura kind of laid out, and then go, "This woman sounds just like you. And approach it like you haven't made that connection and watch what she does.
That's exactly
and that way you've kind of got a little bit of a fence between making the connection,
Yes,
but
Garth,
also
this
it's a
is
little
good.
insinuative.
And here's why it's good, Marissa.
Right.
Because
Love that.
then you have something up your sleeve because she knows that you know
Yes.
that it is her.
Yes.
But you're not saying you did anything wrong. You're just saying, we both know that I have this audio.
Dead ringer.
I love that.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best option. Nobody gets hurt. Nobody's full of fear, and
Yeah.
I can just let her know that I know.
Yep.
Now, let's talk real for a second.
Are you prepared
Okay.
to go up and play the audio?
That's
Are
what
you-
I was about to say. That's exactly right. Because it's really easy on this call to say it and then not do anything. Are you actually going to go up to her at work and say, hey, I heard some really crazy audio and it sounds just like you. Can I play it for you? You think that's a reality?
Yes, I would do that a little differently though. I would
Okay,
say,
hold on, Marissa.
heard
Marissa, will you be you,
You
and
be
Laura, will
Yeah.
you be the woman?
Yeah, sure.
Let's
Laura,
see
you're
how-
Avery.
And Gareth,
She
yeah,
might be
you-
Australian. We don't know. She might be Australian. We don't know.
Gareth, you can be another worker there. I guess.
Great. And I will not take over the scene. I'm Pepper. You guys are the dish.
Yes,
Yeah.
Marissa, I was wondering if you can send me those emails.
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
erotic start. Laura.
She's a
that
whisperer,
threw
yeah.
that threw everybody, including Marissa, off.
She made a choice. I love
Hey,
it.
hey,
Okay.
I liked it
So
too a lot.
Let's
I'm
go.
just-
Let's go
By
back
the way,
to one.
get fucking Pepper out of here. Get Marissa out of here.
Pepper is still going to be here. So let's relax on that note.
Okay, I guess
Back
so.
to one. Okay.
I was wondering if you can send me those emails.
yeah, I would love to. Hey, by the way, I stumbled upon this audio. It's a person, and it sounded exactly like you. Maybe after work in the parking lot, I could play it for you, and you can hear it too.
What was the audio? That's weird.
I'll just let you listen to it.
I don't think
very
there-
mysterious.
there's not an audio of me. I don't know what you're talking about. What?
Hey, Marissa, Avery, sorry to interrupt. I just want to let y'all know there's an edible arrangement in the break room and it's almost only cantaloupe left. I'll leave. Get back to what you were talking about.
Hey, Marissa, could you play the audio at work?
I could.
There's a way that it's now getting really confusing and you're seeming like a real weirdo.
Like, you want to meet her in the parking lot.
Yes, the parking lot was weird, Marissa. Then I want to play you audio and she's like, there's no audio. And you're like, yeah, there is.
Jake, it feels like, are
Gotta
you
play it.
overlooking
Gotta play it.
the Pepper character, the edible
I think
arrangement character?
the scene ended before Pepper got on, I think is kind
It
of
felt like it was kind of getting its legs a little. So am I crazy or Laura? Laura, you were in the scene. It felt like,
I was in it, I was committed.
yeah, it kind of gave a little, anyway, go ahead.
Can you play the audio right now?
It's a great question.
Good idea.
Just like a little bit of it, a snippet.
Yeah, I sent it over to you guys, I think.
Hey everyone, this is Kevin, the producer of the podcast. Just jumping in really quick to say, if you're perhaps a parent listening to this episode with kids around and it's on speaker, or maybe you're my mom who's never missed an episode, you might want to skip 15 seconds. Thanks everyone, and thank you, Mom.
Dick's finger into my pussy. Oh, just rubbing against my G-spot. Mm-hmm.
Laura, by the way, pretty good Avery.
Harder.
Thank you.
Oh, this is Pepper. You don't have that in there.
The character's
Gareth.
name wasn't
By
Pepper.
the way.
The character's name was not Pepper.
Can I just say, Laura,
What are you
excellent
doing?
Avery. Can I say, Marissa, if you can nail that person as her, I think that you're entering a danger zone. I don't think you could be positive it's Avery. That sounds like it could be a lot of different women using that voice. Laura just nailed it.
I just did that.
I felt like they were very similar. So I think you could get yourself in a very embarrassing spot if you go, hey, do you want to go in the parking lot so I can play you some sex audio?
That's why you could probably be like, hey, this person sounded like you. But
I know,
then if
but
you're
this
playing
is,
that
no.
audio, like
As your
you're playing-
friend, hold on, Marissa, I've got new advice as your friend after hearing it. Abort the mission.
I think you're right.
Because this could go so embarrassing. Imagine this moment. You go,
Well, if it's not her, that's like actionable, arguably.
of course it is.
HR, you'll get fired.
Yeah. I'm hitting my G spot.
Yeah, by the way, That would be, if it's not her, you are such a fucking creep, Marissa.
Then
you're the bad guy.
A problem, yeah. I think
not
you're right.
becoming, Gareth, you are.
Yeah.
If you said, hey, I was masturbating and the person I was masturbating sounds just like you, and she goes, okay, cool story, bro. You're weird.
Yeah.
Look, part of me wants you to do it for the plot. Part of me thinks it would be entertaining, but honestly, I think Jake and Gareth are right. You should probably be the bigger person.
I wouldn't even say the bigger person.
Okay, it's not the bigger person. It's like it might not be her.
Right.
And that's super embarrassing. And you could get fired if you bring something up.
And you should get fired if it's not her.
And you should get fired.
Right.
Marissa, if you went up to a random woman at work and said, I heard audio of you masturbating and I want to play it for you in the fucking parking lot, and then you do it, and I'm connected to that other woman, I'm calling the police. Let's bring down the pitchforks, because you're a weirdo, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Marissa, you are entering a zone you might never live down. Now, you might be right, but this is, if you're a golfer, you're betting on a hole-in-one. Mm-hmm. And I got to say, it's just not worth the bet. I'm going 100%. Let it go. Keep the memory of it whenever she's mean to you at work. Play the audio in your ear while she's being mean to you and have a laugh. Keep it up your sleeve, but don't tell anybody anything's up there, because I think this is a real danger zone.
Right.
I'll co-sign.
So, Marissa, in the end here, we like to end with, we pitched you a bunch of ideas on this one, but what is it you think you're going to do?
I'll probably just let it go.
Yeah.
And keep it in my mind for my own amusement.
Yep.
Marissa, thank you for the call.
Thank you, Marissa.
Thank you.
Good luck out there.
Good luck out there.
Good luck out there, Marissa.
Hello.
Hi there. Welcome to the show. You're on with Jake and Gareth. Can we get your name, your age, roughly some of that, and where you live?
Yeah, my name's B. It's not a fake name, but it is a nickname that I think nobody I care about will recognize.
People who don't care about you have given you a nickname?
No. People who would be offended by this conversation.
Okay. All right. Sorry. So B, what's your age?
34.
Okay. And rough location?
Montana.
Such a beautiful state. B, what can we do for you today? Thanks for calling in.
So my 5th grader walked in the door a couple of weeks ago from school, and I noticed something dangling from her ears. She's like experimenting with fashion lately and is doing some kind of like offbeat things, which is totally cool and I totally support. So I get why it didn't even occur to her to ask. But she walked in the door with something dangling from her ears, and she doesn't have pierced ears, nor was I aware of her having any clip-ons. So I was like, what's this? And I got closer and realized that they were my nipple clamps.
Oh, snap. Oh, wow. Oh, B.
So we moved a couple years ago, and I want to be clear. I'm a responsible parent. Like I'm a grown up and I have my own life.
Liking pressure on your nipples doesn't mean you're not a great parent.
Agreed.
So when we moved, I have this box of like adult things that I don't need to have to explain to my children. And I was so careful to make sure that thing never left my sight. Never. My mom was helping us move. Also, didn't need her to know my business either. So I was very careful. But one thing that I couldn't find was this goddamn set of nipple clamps. And I thought maybe they got thrown away. I fully embraced the Delulu and was like, nope, 100%, that's what happened. I'm going to sleep well, knowing these simply got thrown away and this will never come back and bite me in the ass. That's not what happened. They got put into a different box, probably by my sweet mother, who did not know what they were. And my daughter was digging through the garage trying to find something she could turn into an accessory, found those, wore them to school. I want to be clear. They don't look like earrings. They look like
Yeah, I'm actually doing an image search here, and that was going to be
Me
my
too.
question.
Me too.
And boy, I'll tell you what, real quick, you're seeing tits on this.
So she walked in the door, and I went to just go I was like, oh, where did you get this? And was a little flustered. I went to go pull it off, but I couldn't pull it off, gentlemen, because she had that thing clamped on so tight
Oh my
that I
God.
had to loosen the clamp on it to get it off. And then my niece and my 7th grader are staring at me like, why are you reacting this way to this?
Right.
And I was like, oh, it's just, we can't take things that aren't yours. You need to ask first. So I tried to kind of like play it off as me just being annoyed that she had taken something without asking. So my kid's school has a new principal, and the old principal and I got along super, super well. This new one is younger and I think pretty conservative. She's got a bunch of kids, and I think we've kind of like butted heads.
So she's the kind of principal that doesn't want like a 5th grader wearing nipple clamps as earrings.
For sure.
Right.
Did this result in any further problem, or where does it stand now is the question?
Okay, so I because I was concerned about exactly what you said, partially embarrassment, but mostly I was like, I need this to not be like a strike against the community. So I called.
Yes, that's fair.
I called her and I left a message with the secretary asking if she would please call me about something that's personal, whatever. She waited until the next day to call me because I think she assumed I was calling to complain about something. And got on the phone and she was like, what's going on? So I told her my 5th grader wore something to school yesterday. I did not know she was wearing it. It's embarrassing. I did not know. I just want to be clear. If no one noticed, no one made any comment, that's great. That's fine. We can just let it go. But I just wanted to be clear. This isn't a decision that I was like, no, this is fine.
And B, what'd she say?
She said, you have to tell me what it was.
What'd you say?
I said, I don't think I want to tell you, and I don't think that you really want to know. She said, B, I need this. This was a really bad week. It sounds like it's going to be funny. I need you to tell me just for me. Okay. Please will you level with me and tell me. So I just...
By the way, cool move by the principal.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So So I froze a little bit, and then I was quiet for like a good 20 seconds, and she just repeated, please tell me.
By the way, I'm liking this dynamic between you two all of a sudden.
I know. So I said her name, which I won't say here, and said, name, 0 nipple clamps. And there was like a 15-second beat, and then she just did a big sigh and said, you know, there are days as an educator where I wonder why I do this job because it's so hard. And then there are days like today. I should have called you yesterday. Yesterday was a terrible day. I really could have used this. This is great. I think I'm just going to go home for the day. I need this to be the note that I end the day on.
What an awesome end.
It was an awesome end.
However, okay.
We had the following week parent-teacher conferences.
Okay. Well, And my child's teacher is way more conservative than the principal. I feel like, listen, she said she wasn't going to say anything. 100%, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would have said, I would have been like, no, I won't tell anyone. I would have immediately told people. Like,
sure,
it's a hilarious story. And I'm not going to say I'm the best person in the world. I'm very confident that everyone knows this story in that entire school at this point.
So what happened at the conference?
The question originally was, should I go? But then I didn't get on here fast enough. I'm not proud of it, but I missed my first parent-teacher conference of my kids.
So you skipped the conference.
So here's
but we've got more coming up. We have like school events, and I wonder like if did skipping it make it worse because I made it so weird. I made my husband go, and I had him put me on speakerphone because I didn't want to like miss it. I didn't want her to like look at me. I don't know.
Okay. So you've kind of well, first of all, kudos. I have two things. Since you've kind of answered your own question a little bit, I have advice. I guess we're not directly solving your issue, but I've got two things for you. One is to help the current predicament, and one is an overview note. My first note to you, overview note, is hang in the pocket. Don't always try to immediately solve every issue the second that it gives you anxiety. Let calmer energy prevail with you, because you see the nipple clamps, you immediately yank them off your child. You call the principal or you text the principal, she doesn't know. It wasn't even a problem. So you kind of created smoke where there was no smoke in both instances
100%.
a little bit.
Interesting.
So next time you feel this emotion and you feel these sensations, take a minute and
can I put Garrett's note in something that maybe you could understand a little bit better? When the clamps first come on your nipples and they're too intense, breathe.
It might get easier the less
breathe.
The more time you give it,
the
more time you give it, the more comfortable it might actually feel.
All right,
so
keep going.
So that's the big advice.
Yeah.
Now, you're worried a little bit about, has this leaked out? Whatever. Did they notice? Here's my let's swing for the damn fences note. You go to the next parent-teacher conferences, and you are donning a set of wild earrings that are nipple clamps. You lean into the fashion element of this, and you show up calmly, like they're just sort of new fashionista earrings, and you wear them, thus undercutting any gossip that may have happened.
I'm going to go number 3 on this one. So I think the breathing through your quote unquote nipple clamps as you go forward, I think is smart from the Garf man. I think wearing nipple clamp earrings would have worked had you not told the principal. But now that she knows, they're going to go like, what the fuck is this weirdo doing?
Yeah.
Here's what I would lean into. Seems like you've formed an ally with the principal, and it seems like she wants to be an ally too. That back and forth from her point of view, I think was awesome. Yeah. She was saying let me know. And she was also saying there, like, we might be on other sides of the fence on some stuff, but we're also just humans and we're both cool and let's have a laugh. Excellent. So your teacher might be a problem, but you don't know. So here's what I would do. I would get the principal some version of a gift, like a bottle of wine or cupcakes, or I would stay away from anything from a sex shop.
Yeah.
But in the gift, I would write her a note that says, just thank you for laughing at a really embarrassing situation for me. You made it a little bit. You made it a little bit easier. I was so embarrassed I couldn't even go to the conference. I will get over this. It'll never happen again. But thanks for finding laughs in a really embarrassing spot. And what that's going to make her feel is she'll feel warm too. She'll know she handled it right, even though she was probably a little uncomfortable with it. And now you guys are a little bit of a team going forward, and you're taking a weird situation, and I think you're pulling a win out of it.
Yeah, I like that.
It gets ahead the next time maybe the 7th or 8th grader shows up with a vibrator in their backpack and says it's a 3-hole puncher or something.
So B, what do you think you're going to do here?
I think I'm going to do that one. I think because that would be very on par for me, and I can make it a little self-deprecating and laugh about it and add levity, and then maybe also even expand on that very nice human moment we had. I think that's solid.
I think that's the move. Will you follow up with us if there's a funny response from the principal?
Absolutely, I will.
This was a great
call. For
God's
sake, get a tackle box or something and lock it.
Dude, I've got one. I have one.
Get a safe.
Hidden. They just escaped. My sweet innocent mother didn't know what she was looking at.
This isn't Toy Story. These things don't just walk out on their own. Lock it up, B. Thanks a lot for the call.
Thank you for the call.
Thanks, bye.